issues that affect people at this time of year. And we're going to be talking HARC, Homeless and Rootless at Christmas, which is an event which has been going for several years, which is from Christmas Day through to the New Year. A place, a centre, a place for people to come in and have something to eat, obviously, but not be on their own, and all sorts of things. And we very glad to be joined by Russell from HARC, who's going to tell us a bit more about it, because I was trying to summarise there, but probably missed an awful lot.
I think so. You did a fine job. Good afternoon.
So, good afternoon. Welcome for joining us. So busy time for you at the moment.
Yes, it's a particularly busy time. I mean, HARC works all the year round, obviously, in preparation for this time. It's round about September that things start to busy up, as we have to kind of work a wee bit harder at the fundraising and trying to organise how we're going to find volunteers and stuff like that. But yeah, it's now getting closer and closer, and everything's escalating like mad.
It is, yeah. It's a bit like lots of other parts of life, really. Christmas is a busy time. It's just you're laying on Christmas for lots of other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got more people coming around for Christmas dinner than most.
Well, I mean, over the period, I mean, this year we're open from 25th of December, and we close on the morning of 3rd of January, and we're based in where the Archer project is in Sheffield Cathedral. And over that time, it's almost certain that we're going to be looking at over 100 guests each day, and we're going to be serving about 2,300 meals. Yeah, as well as everything else that's going on, like the entertainment and whatever else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll get on to some of the other things that happen as well. And well, there's plenty to go into it, and I know a little of it, but certainly happy to find out a lot more as well. And that's what we'll be talking in first half of the show. We'll play a little music first, and then we'll come in and we will have our chat with Russell. Very nice and well-known piece of music. But we're back in with Russell from HARC, Homeless and Rootless at Christmas, and we're going to be founded in 1989, so become become a sizable event, as you said, with the number of meals and the number of guests that you'd expect over the time. And the idea of HARC is that a lot of other services close at this time of year, isn't it? Day centres and facilities for people.
That's absolutely right. I mean, you have these magnificent services, such as, for example, the Archer project, who are providing an amazing service to people with homelessness issues. But they need to take a break. And whilst we don't do exactly the same thing as Archer project does, we do kind of take up a lot of the slack during the period that they're closed. And we are actually use their premises, which is based in Sheffield Cathedral. So it gives them a bit of time off from their 355 days, really hard work, and we take over for a couple of weeks.
Because some places that may give out meals may be open for a shortish amount of time, maybe a couple of hours on a morning or a day. But you've got a bit of a challenge for HARC, because you're open all day, all the way through.
Well, that's it. I mean, the service is open from 10 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, and it's quite a bit of time to fill for what, as I say, will be from Christmas Day till the morning of January 3rd. When it comes to volunteers who help us out either in the kitchen or just mingling with guests, or indeed volunteers who are entertainers, but we have a kind of shift system, and the shifts this year, it's basically, because it's a 9-hour day, then it's 3-hour shifts. Some people choose to work a double shift because they really like it. Some people work the 3 hours. There's always support there. There's always a shift leader, and if someone's a new volunteer, whoever they're with, it is almost certainly going to be someone who worked on it the previous year, so knows the ropes. And in reality, a lot of it, certainly when it comes to mixing with the guests, it's just about spending time with people and letting them spend time with you. That's all it is.
Yeah, so with your volunteers, do you have people that sort of come back each year? You have the people that have longer standing volunteers as well. But,
we've got people who come back to work on the Christmas project time and time again. We've also got others who have help out with the management committee, or board of trustees as it's officially known, and which works all year round to make sure that Christmas happens for HARC every year. And there's quite a few ex-volunteers who have done the frontline stuff, who get involved, and they may be doing stuff like helping out with kind of media stuff, or maybe a bit of fundraising anything to do with the kind of the back office functions of a charity. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but people see, it's one of those things that people see for that week or week and a bit at Christmas. Yeah, but there's a lot more besides. So where does donations? You've given us an idea about the amount of food that you're dealing with here. Where does that come from?
Well, there is a certain amount of stuff has been donated. There's a lot of stuff that we need to buy. We've got a lot of help from volunteers who are going to volunteer, particularly in the kitchen. In terms of donations in general, we sometimes get some donations of money from small grant awarding bodies, maybe £500 here, £800 there. Yeah. We've got places like Shell Market or and Nether Edge Market, these kind of places, who kindly offer us a stall, and we can raise several £100s of these, by staying out in the cold all day.
Okay, well, I did meet your colleagues at Nether Edge Farmers Market when I was doing a stall myself.
Well, they made over £800 that day. So your presence must have been popular.
It was more popular than the stall I was doing. Yeah, but no, and you're not joking by saying it was cold on the last the week, Sunday before, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah, and we've also, these donations come from other places as well. Individuals donate. I've also got a guy, Mark Whitehead, who did a 75-mile walk around Sheffield, which he did in 15 hours, and he's still counting the money. He did it through the kind of Just Giving. One of the giving kind of platforms, so that it's all verified, and it's still counting, but it's well over £1,200, and it might hit a couple of grand. So people do it in all sorts of ways, and it's not just money, of course. There's donations. People donate their time, which is at least as valuable as money, and people donate stuff like clothing, unwanted clothing, and toiletry items, the kind of things that people need, and maybe it's not so easy to access.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot more to it than just the meals, if you like. It's obviously. Do you think that the most important thing really here is company. The fact that there's a largish group of people as well, and not just the people that are helping and volunteering, but the service users who may well know each other from other sort of walks of life. But there's a welcome, isn't there?
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. Homeless and rootless at Christmas. The homeless, but it may be someone who's street homeless, although quite often it's someone who's just in accommodation that isn't suitable. Yeah. So technically they're homeless. But the other side of it is the rootless, and it's where you maybe not got family, maybe not got friends, and you've got. I think that. I really, really hope that everyone has an absolutely fabulous Christmas this year. But if you see somebody who's maybe not likely to be having as fabulous a Christmas, just show them a bit of compassion and respect. You don't have to feel miserable at the fact that you're having a good Christmas, someone else isn't, but just show a wee bit of compassion and respect and think, well, good on you, mate, all the best, Tell them we go to HARC.
Yeah, that's it, because Homeless and Rootless seems to cover, as you say, it's covering a spectrum of circumstances, isn't it?
That's right.
Just being on your own, and going somewhere where you're not.
Well, that's it. Because you've got media, you've got tradition, you've got a whole culture that says this is a great time for family getting together, and drinking too much and falling out. Stuff like that.
Everything you see on the TV and in the papers is about togetherness and being with family and what have you, and not everyone's got those things.
And absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
and I say there's no, and I don't like charities that kind of try to make people feel guilty that they're okay and others aren't.
Yeah.
But I think the message to get around that for any charity that's dealing with people is, if you're lucky enough in life to be okay, then that's brilliant. But just spare a thought for somebody. Don't feel bad about it. Just spare a thought. Just treat them with respect.
So what? So Christmas Day. What's the rough plan for that? Have you got? You mentioned there might be some sort of entertainment or people.
Well, we're trying to get entertainment for at least a couple of slots pretty much every day. Yeah. There's a possibility we might have a kind of cut down brass band one day. I think we've got a choir another day. We've got people with various instruments, with guitars and all that kind of stuff, singers. So we've got a bit of that, yeah.
Yeah. So it's. suppose trying to recreate it's a bit like people do at home, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
play something after dinner.
Well,
or whatever.
in a strange way, I suppose it goes back. It's actually better in some ways because it goes back to a time probably when people made their own entertainment in a sense.
Yeah.
And there'll be other stuff going on as well. There's quizzes, kind of like pub quiz type thing. There'll be quizzes. People can play board games and card games and stuff. And yeah, there will be people who will know each other either off the street or because they volunteered in other projects before or whatever. But it's a chance for everyone just to kind of hang out.
Yeah, because you see, you've got those when you're open all day like that. You've got those gaps. So you've got 3 hot meals a day. You've obviously got those gaps in between, haven't you, where things will still be happening.
Totally. Totally, and it's a warm space. It's a warm space at a time of year that can be cold. And as I say, the company is as warm as anyone wants to make it when they join it. Really. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is for people that don't know the Archer project. It's round the back of the cathedral, isn't it?
That's right.
People will know the front view of the cathedral, but round the side, round the back.
It's Thingy Road. I can't know what it's called. It's near Paradise Square.
Right behind, it's
and it ends in an O, but I can't remember.
Cambo Lane.
There
we go. We nearly we're supposed to be representing Sheffield here.
Blindly,
yeah, that's right. Yeah. But maybe see the cathedral from another angle. Because there's a sort of new bit at the back, isn't there, where things happen.
If anyone has not been in the Archer project, it's an absolutely amazing space. They've got a brilliant kitchen. They've got fantastic rooms. They've got a suite of computers for anyone that wants to, for example, go out and maybe do a bit of photography or any kind of creative stuff. They've got kind of a room for dentistry. You get various things done. It's an absolutely amazing place, and it's an absolute privilege that we can kind of, in our way, take over from them for a couple of weeks before they kind of get back into the fray.
Yeah, because the Archer project is a sort of provides breakfast, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. And so it's like you say, the facilities are there for you to step in.
The Archer project provides help on so many levels, and which is what HARC tries to do as well. But inevitably it's different because we are actually just for Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you say it's run by volunteers, obviously, and I know from fact from looking at a couple of months back, you with the you've got to have your plans in place quite early.
It's usually September that things start cementing together. Yeah,
but it's not finished yet though, is it? You're still looking for some more people.
Well, that's right. We have a rota system. We have 3 shifts a day, and we've got days from Christmas Day till Saturday 3rd to cover every day. A lot of it is covered, but inevitably, because things happen, we might have people who have to drop out. There's also a few shifts, such as I think on New Year's Day and on Boxing Day. I think we're short on 1 or 2 kitchen volunteers for the kitchen stuff as well. It's possible to get a qualification because we had a donation of by the virtual college of food safety and hygiene certificates. So for anyone who fancies getting into catering, what they could do is they could say, I'll volunteer with you. They'll get first-hand experience and they'll get a qualification, and who knows, they might get a fabulous job in 2015. So there's even kind of more selfish as well as selfless reasons for volunteering, perhaps.
Well, we're all volunteers on air here, and it certainly goes on the CV when you apply for things. Volunteering is a very
experience and skills, wherever they come from, is really important. But anyone that wants to find out how they can volunteer, or indeed we're looking for donations of unwanted clothes, particularly fleeces, things that will keep people warm, and also footwear as well. But we're also looking for toiletries, sleeping bags, any other kind of stuff. Big Yellow Self-Storage very kindly donated us a couple of rooms for us to store our donations in. We're having a big mega drop-off on Sunday the 21st, between 1 o'clock and 3, and that's on the Big Yellow Self-Storage, which is kind of Queen's Road, Bramall Lane. Although they did say that they will take stuff in at reception if anybody wants to drop something off. But if you've got kind of clothes that you don't want anymore, that are kind of decent, we'll take any of it really. We are particularly keen, not exclusively looking for, but we are particularly keen on younger people's fashions, because it's actually quite interesting and quite shocking, really, how a lot of homeless people today
we tend to be
are a lot younger. In the old days, it was always folk in their late 40s, 50s, maybe in their 60s, but a lot of younger people are, up against it.
Yep, so there's still plenty. Firstly, there's the service itself, if from Christmas Day through to the 3rd of Jan, for people, if you find yourself in one of those situations that we mentioned, to come along. I'm sure very welcome. But, as I say, clothes, toiletries, stuff, donation, but time as well. If people go on your website, it's harc-sheffield.org.uk, you've got the shifts up there, and I presume that's updating pretty quite a lot, really, and it keeps changing.
It is. I mean, it went up 2 days ago. It's already out of date, and I think I'll be updating it later on. I mean, the best thing to do is just to keep looking at the website, and also on the site at the top, there's a whole kind of list of pages, and one of them is the news pages, which is kind of a kind of blog. Kind of timeline of what's going on, media timeline. So that's an interesting place if you want to find out more and find out what's happening and what you could be doing or what you might want to do.
There's still will be opportunity to drop in and so the roles that are down here. So kitchen volunteers, general volunteers, so sort of front of house and back, really. Is that how it's divided up?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's no reason why people, if let's say they volunteer for a couple of shifts, there's no reason why they can't be kitchen volunteer for one, general volunteer for another. It's if people are generous enough to donate their time, then we're grateful for that. But there are obviously core functions that we have to fill in order to provide the service and make the best possible experience for our guests.
Yeah. So, and in terms of the general volunteers, what sort of people be looking for, do you think? What sort of what do you need to be? What sort of person would you need to be, I suppose?
Well, you don't need to have a kind of HND or degree in homelessness. I mean, I think you just need to have a genuinely positive attitude, and just have respect for fellow human beings, and basically be non-judgmental.
People from all walks of life.
Yeah, and be happy to speak to people and to listen to what they say. Yeah, and be genuine and sincere about it. You need to want to do it. Don't do it because you think you should. Do it because you want to. And I think it'd be most rewarding that way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a good point to finish on, really. And I think that's summed up a lot of what you've been saying, isn't it? Really. And so it's HARC, Homeless and Rootless at Christmas, and the Archer Project at the back of the Cathedral, Campo Lane. And go online, find HARC-Sheffield, you'll find it easy enough online. And I say even maybe over the next couple of days, up-to-date details and how you can help, how you can get involved, how you can donate, or how you can maybe give a little bit of time as well. And hopefully we have got out to some people who would like to do that and are able to do that, and hopefully people as well who also would like to use the service or know somebody that would like to use the service over Christmas. And hopefully we've done that today. So, Russell from HARC, thanks. It's been great. It's been very interesting and hopefully useful for yourselves.
No, thanks for the opportunity, and Merry Christmas to all your listeners.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks very much. Well, we're going to play another piece of music.